Girl,
Everybody
it's
follow the
packed
one
out
line,
here tonight.
please. Follow the one line, please.
I told you.
IDs out. I need to see IDs. Thank you, ladies. Welcome to Park Ave.
Excuse me. Hello? Can you move? What? Excuse me. Oh my God. You ready to go? Girl, I've been ready.
Well, hey, girl, hey.
She's your queen to be. Queen to be. I don't know why I have that song in my head.
Girl, have you been watching that CNN movies?
No.
Oh, CNN, like, you know, they have like this special where they'll do like decades. So like they'll do the 80s and 90s, the 2000s or whatever. So this time I guess they tried to jazz it up. So they're doing movies by decades. And so I was actually watching it earlier today. And I don't like it. Like, I like it because they show, like, you know, they show the ETs and the Back to the Futures. The only issue I really, really genuinely have is they don't really show black movies. But the exception to black movies is like Eddie Murphy and like Will Smith and stuff when they got into the 90s. So they actually started off with Eddie's 48 Hours. And then they went into the fact that like
they played Norbit.
No, because they're doing it by decades. So they started off with 48 Hours, and then they basically went into how Eddie Murphy was just so big in the 80s. And then they did like Coming to America, which I was kind of shocked because, like I said, they don't really do black movies like that. So they were talking about how many characters he plays and all that stuff.
It's such a great movie. And I don't know why I have
Coming to America's long as hell, and it really don't have to be that long though.
It is. The storyline is long.
It's a good like 20 minutes they could have shaved off. Like, I really think we need to talk about how Coming to America is like 2.5 hours for no real reason.
But you know, again, it's a good movie.
It is. It's a really good movie, but it's some scenes that could have been.
And it's a classic black movie.
It's a good movie. He plays like 4 characters. Arsenio Hall plays like another 3. I love. I can't think of Lisa's sister name right now, but I love Lisa's sister because she a bird bitch, and she's just trying to get in where she fits in. Who am I to hate? The McDowells. He said they have the golden arches. We have the golden arcs. Their burgers, two beef patties, extra sauce, pickles, and onions with a sesame seed bun. Mine's have no sesame seeds. Like, girl, Mr. McDowell
did it. He did what he had to do.
It's the same thing.
He did what he had to do to open up his franchise.
2 all beef patties, special sauce. He did lettuce, tomato, onions. Like, no, it's the same thing. But okay,
no, he did what he had to do.
It's okay.
But
Coming to America is a good movie.
It's a great movie.
I can't wait to see Coming to America 2, even though I heard they didn't have Mr. McDowell in it, which pissed me off. But hopefully they changed their minds.
Hopefully.
Or maybe I need a cameo or something. I actually don't need to come into. People really be liking like sequels and remakes. I could not. Because
it just depends on who's making the remake and who's on board for the remake. Because if you're having a brand new cast that's doing the remake, of course now it's not going to work. But if you're having everybody, it's just like.
But they're doing a sequel.
So if everybody is participating in something, I think that would be something worth.
I need to see Mr. McDowell. If I don't see Mr. McDowell, I'm not gonna lie. I am gonna feel my soul ain't gonna be right. My soul not gonna be right because he's too much of a bird bitch to not be in a sequel. He spent that whole movie trying to get on. What we won't do is deny Mr. McDowell being on.
Oh my God.
He spent that whole first movie trying to be in the Oil Sheen franchise. My good sir wanted his coins. And
what is his stepson or his son-in-law was Daryl?
Daryl with the now I'm gonna call that man Lionel Richie. Eric LaSalle. Yes. He stayed trying to get them hoes married off. And he finally did. And I remember Daryl came, like, you told him to come over here. He was like, here you go. Like, you're messing up my real money. And I felt him.
Once he found out the real money was the real money.
Yeah, I could, I'd have been perfect child for Mr. McDowell. We have the same type of goals.
All right.
Bless. Mr. McDowell, bless. You're my favorite character in the movie.
So what's cool in the city? You guys, okay, so it took me forever and a day to realize that black people can swim.
What?
Black people can swim. Because I really was under the impression that we couldn't, and I wouldn't. So,
what?
Yes.
I mean, I actually can't swim, but my whole family can. But girl, I knew black people could swim, even though I can't.
So, needless to say, see, there's pool swimming. To me, there's pool swimming, there's ocean swimming, there's river swimming. There's different levels of swimming to me. And I always feel like, okay, well, I can't drown. I'm not going to drown. I know enough to like float or whatever. So my friend, she would always ask me, hey, do you want to go to the river with me? And I'm like, what? Black people don't go to the fucking river. What are you talking about? So for years, she asked me, and then I finally went, and I had the best fucking time. So I decided about a month ago, I was going to do a girl trip with some of my friends that I used to work at Scott Gertner's with, and we decided to go to the river. And we rented a house on Lake Travis and this past weekend, and we got, it was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had, just because, I felt like I needed it because I've been working so much and dealing with a bunch of crazy people, and just, like you work in hospitality, so, there's a lot of personalities that you have to deal with and manage, and it is frustrating sometimes when you have to try to corral people, whatever. So, I've just been frustrated. But anyways, so we went on this vacation. We went to the river. It was a great time. I was drunk as shit, but I realized that I really couldn't swim as well as I thought I could. Mm-hmm. Because when I was floating, so when we were going down the rapids, they break you up, like the lifeguards. The lifeguards break you up, and of course I got broke up, whatever. And then I hit a rock. The rock hit my back.
Oh,
bitch,
did it hurt?
Say I hollered like a hyena.
Oh, it hurt.
Oh, bitch, it still hurts.
Oh,
I was floating on the river like this. I was floating on the river for like 15 minutes. Like, I was screaming at the top of my lungs. I was screaming because it hurt so bad. I was drunk. I was hurting. And then
maybe that's why you couldn't swim, because you was drunk.
But then I just remember them saying, "You gotta get off the float. You gotta get off the float."
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, okay. Time out. You're in the river, right?
I'm in the river.
So why you have to get off the float, though?
Because it was going to an end, right? So the end of the float. So we reached the end of the float.
The float part?
The float part where
so
everybody.
we had to
get out. So then.
Wait, is it deep?
Bitch.
Oh, so you have to be able to swim.
Bitch. When I tell you, So
Did
they were
you drown? Did you drown?
So listen. So like they're like, get off the float, because I'm thinking like, okay, well, what do I do? Like I know this is the off stop. Okay, well, I know I got to get off right here. What do I do? And they're like, get off the float.
Well, why did you? I'm sorry. Why can't you be in the float? That's the point.
Because the water was flowing this way, and this is where I needed to get off, like on this side.
But I'm just trying to figure out why you can't take the float to the non-float area.
Because the non-float area didn't exist because the water was moving.
Oh. You had
No. I mean, again, I'm thinking, because
I can swim.
Again, I'm thinking I can swim. I can I can, I've been to the Frio River before, it wasn't that deep. So, I wasn't really tripping. Girl, I was just like, fuck this shit. I hopped out that inner tube and I jumped out. And I was like, oh God, I can't feel the fucking bottom. I can't feel the bottom. I was a drunk, hot mess.
So when did your Michael Phelps kick in? Did you swim? Did somebody
I
save
swam. I'm here, obviously.
I swam. I ain't know somebody had to come save you.
No. I swam. I did I was doing the frog. I was doing the frog. So the frog, you could do doggy paddle. But no, the frog keeps you afloat. It keeps you. So I was like.
So you wouldn't drown?
So I wouldn't drown. So I was doing the frog.
Were you nervous?
Bitch, I was just like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Did people realize you were nervous?
And then so somebody helped me. Some nice young white man pulled me out. And it was algae all over. It was like algae all over the fucking stepping stone or whatever the fuck that was. And my fucking croc fell off. And it was floating down the river. I had a hot pink croc.
So you lost
I lost my croc.
The ones you talked about?
I lost both my crocs. I actually shout out to the people that, river people are really nice. Because I lost both of my shoes, both of my Crocs. And so one Croc was floating and I caught it. And then I was like, oh shit, well, fuck it. I guess I just lost a Croc. And then the other person's like, I got it. They're like, can you bring it back to me? And the river is like wide. It's so like really wide.
They swam to
you.
you.
And he swam to me and he brought me my Croc.
Jesus Christ. So basically you almost died this weekend. Is that what you're telling me?
But you know what? Like, girls' trips are so necessary. Like, just being around people that accept you for you, that will just like it. Being around friends was so great. Like, we airbeat and beat it. Like, literally the first night that we stayed there, we were all just kind of just like venting our issues and what we were going through and what we were feeling and blah blah blah, and everybody started crying. Like, we were all just crying, holding hands, talking about our issues and talking about our problems and what we were feeling and what we were facing and blah blah blah. And everybody was crying. Like, literally, we woke up the next morning and my friend Sherelle, she said, I'm not fucking crying today. I'm not gonna cry today. Like, everybody's eyes was puffy and just like,
count on me.
Yes, it was very that moment on Waiting to Exhale when they were getting drunk and they were dancing.
Girl,
exactly. No, it's not John, bitch.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
That was us.
Savannah talked about it's stupid. It's stupid and it's childish. What did you actually say in that scene?
She didn't say shit.
What happened to the music?
Yes. Yes, they had cake. They had champagne.
Bernie was going the fuck through.
Bitch, we had drinks. Like I said, everybody was telling their stories and then, I was really inquiring about marriage because we had one girl that was married at the group. Everybody else is dating. And she just was so transparent. Shout out to Nikki. She was just so transparent and, just gave her thoughts of marriage and what it takes to be married to somebody, and especially in this day and age. I thought that was just so helpful, and so her story was so honest, and she just didn't really hold back. And I just had the best time. Just, again, being around people that you could just be yourself around and there's no judgment, there's no nothing. That was the best, and I had the best time, and I just recommend. Girls' trips are necessary, so we plan to do this. And again, these are friends that I met at Scott, so they're all Black women. they're all, from different, like, they're from Dallas, one is from LA, a couple from Dallas, 2 of them are from here, and of course I'm from Corpus, and we all have different experiences of being Black women or whatever, but, it's just coming together. Like, I'm just so appreciative of having that circle, because again, I have a circle of friends that are white and Hispanic that will never understand what it's like to be a Black woman, and then I have a circle of friends that are all Black women that we all understand each other. But of course I have a group that I grew up with, that I'm friends with, that we will just be friends because we will always be friends, because we've been friends and there's no reason for us not to be friends. And then I have a group of friends that, it's so relatable. And I don't know, it's just, I just had a great experience going to the river. I think more Black people should venture out. I think Black people should really learn to swim. I don't know I don't know why we demonize the water like that. But I
don't think my family didn't demonize the water like that.
My family did.
Yeah, everybody in my family actually. I'm a Floridian, so
you should not.
Well, I didn't like. The issue was my mom took me to swimming lessons. She said I just didn't like water, so she didn't force me. Versus like now, people would. Kids just not gonna like water anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's just new, whatever. Mm-hmm. So now she was like, dang, I really should have just kept making you go versus I don't want to do it. Because I was like a kid. Like I vaguely remember, like I was like under 5 when she took me.
Yeah.
But my brothers can swim, and I mean everybody in my family can swim.
I think swimming. I
think everybody should learn how to swim because I know a friend that their kid, like, she had to bring her kid back to life. Her kid drowned.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, I just think people, for safety issues, if you want to have a pool at your house, if you want your kids to be, even I know some of my beachiness with Florida, I know you can't help riptides, but a little bit of swimming can save a lot of stuff. And so swimming is just one of those things that you just need to do. It's because and then that too, I remember like in high school I got thrown in a pool, and I got thrown in a pool on I hate, and this is why I hate pool parties to this day, because people don't I kind of feel like if you go to a pool party, if they're not in the water, don't throw people in the water. I hate that shit. Like I hate when people grab people and throw them in the water. But of course in high school, boys or whatever, I got thrown on the line of like 5 feet, which was fine because I'm taller than 5 feet. But then like the next shit was like 6, like it was like 5 feet, 6 feet, but it was that line. Yeah. So like one foot was 5 foot, and then my other foot hit it, and I almost was like damn near about to like for real drown. So I don't know. You really just. But I see now more and more like maybe it seems like it. But to me, on like my Facebook and my Instagram and my Twitter, I see more and more people having their infants in the water. Yes, which I think is
my best friend. Imperative. She, her son, Grant, is he's a little over 1, and she put him in swimming lessons. And she sends me the videos of him swimming, and of course he's crying the whole fucking time. But when she, like, so today it was like every day he would go to these swim lessons for 6 weeks. And the whole object of him learning how to swim is if he fell into the pool,
he could float.
And he could float his way to the side of the pool and just latch onto the pool. Doesn't necessarily have to pull himself out. He could just hold on to the side of the pool. So that's what that's what this lady was teaching him. And today she sent me a video of the lady. So it's like steps, right? And so today the lady threw him in the pool with all his clothes on as like kind of like a mock, as if,
and he got himself out.
And he plopped into the pool. He floated back up. And he just floated back to the side, and he just held on to the side.
But you know, I know it's gonna sound weird.
And he's 1.
No, I know it's gonna sound weird. So I think it's Candy Burns' son It's Ludacris and Eudoxie. I think that's how she says her name. His wife, Eudoxie. And it was like another like celebrity baby. They all were learning how to swim at the same time, and I used to wait for their swim videos because it was just so crazy to originally see them like boohoo crying and upset. And now when you look at like, I know for sure Ludacris kids, when you look at them, they straight like run, jump, and don't care. But I remember like their names are Kai and Cadence. I remember when they first started and they was over it. And so the first, I think that they did that where you had to be fully dressed and she was like playing around the pool, and then they had the sister knock her in. And when she finally, but she wasn't one, she was a bit like older than and then your friend's son. But by the time she got to the pool, she got herself out because she was like walking and all that stuff. So when she got out, she pointed to her sister, was like, she did it. She threw, like, basically saying, like, this bitch threw me in. Like, y'all not gonna beat her? But she had all, like, she was in jeans and, like, a t-shirt.
It's this thing where they teach children how to swim, which I think is important because a lot of, I mean, when I worked at the health department and I was shadowing the pool safety team, they always said they have to investigate the deaths of people who drown in pools, and most of the people who drown in pools are kids, because they don't know how to swim. And mind you,
and a lot of stuff just be, you see a toy, you want to grab the toy, and be like, real.
And most pools are between 3 to 5 feet of water, but of course, you know, for a kid that is like 3 feet, you know, of course they can go under real quick. But yeah, so I think that's so important. Learning how to swim is important.
Teach them young. Like young. Now, I remember.
I wish I had those skills, but you know, now that I know, like, I mean, it kicked in because, like, you know, my drunkenness deactivated and was like, bitch, you about to go under. Bitch, the river is taking you. The Colorado River is taking you. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna die? Or you gonna swim?
You gonna fight or flight?
You gonna fight or flight, bitch. And I fought. And I said, oh no. So I started frogging. To the side. And
was it like a noticeable drown though?
It wasn't noticeable because I wasn't panicked. Like, because the thing is when you're drowning.
I almost drowned. No, I like what I had to say. Wow, when I was a kid.
But when you're drowning, the thing is you can't panic, because when you panic, that's when you go under.
Yeah, I panicked.
So I remember I told myself, bitch, calm down, froggy. So that's what I did. So I was just pedaling, and I just remember, loosen your body up, because at the end of the day, you float. Your body floats in salt water. You float. So I was like, okay, calm down, float. So I floated, and then I froggied to the side, and then I couldn't get on the land because of the algae. The algae was so thick and slippery. I couldn't get my foot on there to get, like, you know, a good footing. And this nice young white man put his hand out, pulled me out, and, you know, I'm here today. I'm here today to say, learn how to fucking swim. The river is fun.
Stepped in.
I think that when you go to the river and float on the river, it's not that my friend says that you can't, you know, if you don't have bruises or scratches, it wasn't a fun time. No, hitting your back on a fucking rock is not fun, or slipping and falling and busting your ass on rocks is not fun. Wear solid shoes. I wore Crocs. I thought that Crocs.
Wait, so they saved your Crocs?
A nice man saved my Crocs. But wearing Crocs is not reasonable. You have to wear shoes that you can tie tight. Tennis shoes.
Need some New Balances. You know, New Balances never fail.
You know, my friend, her inner tube, like, we went down a rapid, and her inner tube busted. And she was just like, I can't swim! So it was a lot. It was a lot. But again,
so how did she get out the water?
It seemed
like it was a lot of near deaths in this bitch. Actually.
So what happened was when we finally caught back up, because they broke us, we were all connected together. So once we got to the river, I connected all the floats together. So everybody was just floating. It was like 7 floats just all floating together. And then when you go down the rapids, you cannot float 7 people down a rapid. It's 2 maximum. So the lifeguard broke everybody up at the rapids.
I was like, fuck.
So of course my ass separated. I was the first one that was separated, and then I was like gone solo. And then that's when one of my shoes came off, and I'm just like trying to swim, I'm trying to catch up with everybody. I see them, but I'm trying to catch up with everybody. I'm trying to get my Dos Equis. Like I'm trying to get it, and then I see we go down another rapid, and then she's just like, I can't swim. And I'm like, and I turn around, I'm like, what's happening? So then my friend, she gave her float
to the one that couldn't swim.
And then she got in the float with me. So we started floating. And then somebody was like, oh, 2 people can't be in one float. One float.
Always a white person hating on shit.
So then I'm like, it's all good. I'll get out. So I hopped out.
You drowned.
So I hopped off the float thinking it's shallow water. Man, that shit was so deep.
You almost died.
So I got back up and I was like, oh shit, it's so deep. So then my mind started going nuts, and I started thinking of alligators in the water, and I'm thinking of all this shit. So I'm starting to freak the fuck out. And then so I'm like, I need to get back in the float. So finally got back in the float, and then we end up nearing the end, and of course nobody's going past this point of the river. There was nobody past this point, and then you could tell it was getting faster and faster. So I was just like, oh shit, okay, well shit, like what are we gonna do? Like we can't stop ourselves. Like I can't fucking stop the float. So I was like, fuck it, we just gotta hop out. Man, I hopped out that motherfucker, and that shit was deep as fuck. And so I went under, and then I hopped back up over the water, and I was like, okay, I have to fucking swim, but I was swimming against the current.
This sounds very scary.
Bitch, when I tell you, and then finally when I made it to the side, like I wasn't far, this was me, this was the side, right? But the current is like this. And I was swimming, and then when I finally grabbed the side of the wall, I was trying to put my leg on the wall so I could climb up. But the algae was
slipping and sliding.
So I was slipping and sliding. And then that's when somebody came and grabbed me. So,
bless. Well, I'm happy you're here. I'm happy I ain't see no Facebook posts. Found out you died.
No, not on the river.
Jesus Christ.
Needless to say, girls weekend was amazing. Everybody needs to take a girls weekend. Everybody needs to do that. Everybody needs to spend time with your friends, because we don't know what each other is going through, and then to learn about some of the things that my friends are going through, and it just, I don't know, man. It just does something to your spirit, and just to be able to just let loose and not worry about certain things, and just cooking for each other and laughing and twerking, that shit, praying together, laughing together, crying together. That shit was on point, and it was much needed. So shout out to my girls, Ashley, Mimi, Sherelle, Pilar, Casey. Who else was there? That was it.
Wear life jackets.
Wear life jackets if you know you can't swim.
Because I do all that bullshit, but I always wear a life jacket. I can't swim.
But the thing is, even when I went to Hawaii, right? When I went to Hawaii, that like they say that the ocean you can float. You don't need shit. You don't need it. No. But like if you get to a certain point in the ocean, like
that's fine, but people's nerves over trumps that. You have to be relaxed to do stuff like that. When you start panicking and freaking out, you going under anyway. Put your ass a life jacket on if your ass know you can't swim or your abilities ain't that good.
I would agree.
Put a jacket on because that
you feel like you can't
but that's
swim.
why they say teach babies how to. That's why not newborns, but like infants can float because naturally you can float. The problem is when you become an adult or not even an adult, when you become a person who's aware,
you panic. No, the panic makes you you drown.
Need
the panic makes you drown.
The panic makes the person who's saving you drown because you be like
trying to
pulling them down too.
Yeah.
So no, you need to put on I don't care where you can float at. Put on a life jacket.
My friend, she did have a life jacket on, and I thought that was so funny. But then my dumb ass was like,
their life jacket on. That life jacket be saving lives. It's the reason why it's called life.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
But yeah, so this week my Woman Crush Wednesday goes to Halle Bailey. Not to be confused with Halle Berry, apparently. She is not Jasmine. She is Sky on the show Grownish. Grownish is on Freeform. It's the different world to the Cosby Show. It's basically Blackish's different worlds. You know, their oldest daughter Yara her name wasn't Yara on the show. What is Yara's name on the show? Zoe goes to college. I thought I would have liked it if she went to a HBCU. I thought she actually was, if I kind of remember those last couple of episodes with her on Blackish.
She didn't.
But she
went to
I know she didn't because I'm talking about the show Grownish. She went to University of California, but I thought she was going to go to a HBCU at the time when I think it was like a debate. I felt like we had a debate over the summer with Blackish, what school she was going to go to. But either way, she ended up at like university, their made up University of California. There she met twins who were played by Chloe and Holly. One is named Jazz, one is named Sky. Sky happens to be Holly. Holly is a part of the same duo, Chloe and Holly, who have been singing their little hearts out for the past few years. So Sky is my Woman Crush Wednesday because she kind of reminds me of Maya from Girlfriends a little bit. She like has a super big faith in Jesus. She corrects everybody at the drop of a dime. Her one-liners are everything. She keeps the bitches together. She lets them know how she feels. She's just... Her and her sister really are just that bitch. Especially too because their storyline is they come from like Compton or South Central. On track scholarships. So the first season, they're making it clear, like, even though they're running for this school that's making good money, and even though they do have these scholarships, they broke as hell because they, you know, can't afford nothing, and these scholarships don't do enough, which is true, for scholarships and athletes and all that good stuff. So, she basically checks everyone. I mean, she basically just keeps everybody in line. She's kind of bitchy a little bit, but, like, in a very... fun way.
Yeah.
In a very like, girl, what? Nah, my Jesus wouldn't do that. Like in a very
matter of fact.
Yeah, she's very secure within herself. So, and she started messing with Zoe's brother Junior, but that's a whole nother thing. So shout out to Halle Bailey. She's also our new Little Mermaid. So that's also why she was my Woman Crush Wednesday, because I didn't even know she was in the running for it. I remember hearing all these names. I remember thinking Zendaya was going to get it. I remember thinking like all these other people, and then out of the blue, they gave it to her, which if anybody watched The Little Mermaid like I did as a kid, Little Mermaid had a vocal. And if you actually paid attention to Chloe and Holly's career, Holly really can sing like in a very Disney, very mesmerizing, very... amazing way. Maybe that's clearly why Beyonce found her and her sister on like YouTube and signed them. So shout out to Halle Bailey, not to be confused with Halle Berry apparently. So and Grownish is actually a really, really good show. Even though I'm a bit confused because I just feel like kids that's in high school and college now, I don't get them. But maybe like my mama felt that about me. Because like
no, it's a different breed. It's a whole different breed.
Something. I don't know if it's social media.
It's social media.
It's a lot.
Different breed.
It's a lot. It's like even like their topics on Grownish. It's just like y'all go through that. That's okay. It's like everything we went through times like put a billion on it. I don't know. It's just real. Bless everybody who got kids right now. I don't know how y'all do it. Especially bless people who have kids who
under 20.
Who are under 20?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like people under 20 grew up with social media. Bless the people who had kids that like came on the cusp of social media and kids. Because I know like Facebook happened when I was a freshman at FAM. So I was like 18, 19 when Facebook showed up. So I don't know. I feel like if you had kids in like high school and then your kids kind of grew up in social media era, y'all gotta be confused.
That's what I'm saying. They're in their 20s.
Who? The kids are in their 20s or the parents?
The kids that grew up in the people that grew up in social media are in their 20s.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, I follow.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, I feel bad for y'all. Because especially if y'all had them kids, especially if you're like a young parent, like if your kids in your 20s and you like 36, y'all got to be confused because this social media thing got to be a beast. Because you don't understand, you don't get it. I mean, you might get it because you might be on social media, but I don't think you get it because every time I open up anything, any news, it's some kid being bullied. I don't know. Social media is really weird. So Grownish is like a very like. I thought it was gonna be more like I loved A Different World's my favorite TV show. So I don't know if I thought it was gonna be like A Different World. It is, but it's not. Mm-hmm. But I will always prefer A Different World in a weird way because some stuff be so. I text and we text it. It'd be so. Yeah, y'all interesting. Y'all Z-Jenners? I think are they Z-Jenners? I think you Z-Jenners are different. But shout out to Halle Bailey, not to be confused with Halle Berry. Good job. I hope the movie comes out well. I think they start taping at the beginning of next year. I'm pretty sure it will, which I'm very interested to see the trailer to Little Mermaid because a live action Little Mermaid, do y'all tape that underwater? I got a lot of questions. I mean, you're not going to tape it underwater, but I got a lot of questions on how it's going to look like aesthetically. How are we going to make her underwater? Like, yeah, I'm very interested to see.
And make your hair float.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff I need to
Are you going to have your dreads? Are you going to put it on a wig?
Yeah, that was the questions I actually really do have. Because I know people got upset like when they seen Will Smith and the blue for Aladdin. I know people when they started showing like the live action Lion King, people were kind of like, ugh. So I'm very interested to see how it's actually going to look. So, shout out, girl. Good job. I'm with it. But anyway, so this week we're recovering from married men or people.
Married people.
But men. And I think Nene has something to tell us. Give me a second. Hold on. Wait for Nene. Wait for it.
Close your legs to married men.
Wait for it.
Close your legs to married men, hooker.
What, Nene?
Close your legs to married men, hooker.
Okay. Anyway, so have you messed with a married man before?
Married, no. Separated. He said he was separated.
But he was married.
He said he was separated.
I mean, he said he was separated, but even when you're separated, he's still married.
He said he was separated. He was living like.
But it's the same thing, though, right?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know.
I messed with married men.
Oh no, I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
He told me he was separated, and see, that's the thing. Like, okay, so you're separated. Y'all are not living as a unit. So to me, you're married by default. Okay, I can rewind and press play. So a person can say that they're married or they're separated, but legally they're still married. Legally they're still married, but they do nothing as a couple. They do nothing together. So to me, that's not a marriage. Just because, and I get it, right? Like, I get it. You're married. But you're doing nothing together. You're doing nothing together. You're not living together. You're not.
So you okay with messing with married people as long as they just broken up?
I mean, I'm not saying that.
No, I'm just asking because, people, I mean, that's always like the argument to a lot of people. So a lot of people who be married and be dating and people be like, oh, he's still married.
I'm just saying. Honestly, I wouldn't want a married man, to be honest, because there's a lot of single people that I could deal with.
No, I'm not saying overall, but in that situation, he was still married, but you're okay with them being separated.
He's married, but it's a technicality.
I mean, a lot of people don't see it as a technicality. That's all. I mean, I mess with married man.
I see that as a technicality. If I know you're separated and you are living your own separate life, all y'all are doing is co-parenting or whatever the fuck, and there's nothing else in between, but I know how divorce is. Divorce takes a long time. Divorce is this and that. That's illegal shit. That's not marriage. You're not married. You're government bound to each other, but y'all aren't married. And people may attack me for this. But, I mean, that's just how I see it. Like, at the end of the day, like, if a person is wanting a divorce and getting in the process of a divorce, should that stop somebody from dating?
I think you need to see both sides to that. And I'm only saying that because in a lot of situations, it's always, when my mom was going through her divorce, they said two things. It's like twofold for me. Some people use I'm getting a divorce, we getting separated.
As just like a ploy.
As a ploy.
We get it.
And so I think sometimes you need to talk to the counterpart, which will be the person wife. They saying they getting a divorce from. But people don't tend to do that because people don't necessarily want to know the truth anyway, so they avoid that shit. I do believe there is a time where the marriage is over, but I think it's more over for one person than it is the other. I remember when my mom was getting divorced, they said the person that's angry is usually the person that was getting divorced versus the person who initiated the divorce. So I think it's just I think it's a gray area, and I still wouldn't even want to date nobody who's separated in case the separated wife came to me and was like, oh, we good. No, I'm dating somebody else, girl. Then I will be like, oh, okay. Because there is a lot of legalities. Is that a word? Legalities? It is a lot of paperwork and a lot of things to do with divorce. But then I also know divorces don't take that long. And it also, depending on the state you live in as well, because I know, like, as somebody who got divorced in D.C., you have to be separated for a year. You can't even sleep together. If the courts finds out, they kind of dismiss your separation. But you have to literally be separated for a year before they even grant you a divorce. Not every state is like that. So, and not everybody has as much paperwork and as much business as they'd like to say they have. Because I know people who's like, oh, we're waiting to get a divorce. It's like, bitch, y'all live in a 2-bedroom. Move out and go on about your day and get a divorce. So,
but it's more expensive to get. And then again, it's more expensive to get a divorce than it is to get a marriage license. I know that for a fact.
That's fine, but it's the process that people kind of throw on other people, I feel sometimes, is a lie. So for me, if I'm going to date somebody, like I've dated, I don't want to say I even dated married man, because I was being a bird bitch when I was messing with married people. But for me, at this big age, I wouldn't even date nobody who's separated in case your wife came to me and was like, oh, we really genuinely are separated. This is why it's taking so long. I wouldn't be in any situation where I'm listening to some man tell me that it's about to be over.
Yeah.
Like, not at this big age.
No.
But have I messed with married men? Yes. And I was thinking about this earlier because I was like, I ain't messed with no married man since I've been to college. That was a lie. I messed with like a married man like 2 or 3 years ago. But even in my space of messing with like married men, I never wanted to be married or actually with, if it makes any sense, to the person I was messing, to the married man I was messing with. I didn't want to be like the official girlfriend. I didn't want to be a wife. I wanted to be the bird bitch I was at the time, which was like trying to get my nails filled. I don't know, a gift card. I don't know what the fuck I was doing at the time. And at that age, I wanted some bullshit. So, yeah. And a couple of years ago, I messed with a married man, but that's because he had a girlfriend outside of his wife. So I wasn't even like, I was like the mistress to them. Oh, God. That's terrible. But he was already married, and he had a girlfriend. His girlfriend was actually pregnant. And then we messed around. But then, even then, when we was messing around, I didn't want to be the girlfriend or the wife. I got drunk one night and had sex with him. And then
it just turned into something.
We continued to have sex. Because the sex wasn't terrible. It was pretty great.
Close your legs to married men, hooker.
Wow, Nene, you have to call me out. No, but
I dated a guy who was separated. And I asked
Close your
him,
legs to married men, hooker.
I asked him about his situation, and he told me. And at the end of the day, I feel like if a person doesn't live the lifestyle of that, I can only take it for what I see it.
But I don't be trusting people because people be doing a whole lot of shit.
No, I mean, they do. But at the end of the day, I feel like if you truly were this, you're in limbo and you're doing this and that, like, I think a person could tell. This nigga never showed me my married boyfriend. I never saw. He, even to this day, like,
he's still married.
No, he's not married. He's not married at all. He's not.
Oh, he got a divorce.
Was married.
Oh, he got a divorce.
Was married, but he. I know at the time, the rumor was he was separated, and that he was going through this divorce or whatever. And if he was figuring the kids situation, because they had 2 kids together, four kids. Kids. They're figuring out the kids situation, right? And that's what was the holdup, because they were disagreeing on the kids. So I didn't give a fuck. I was young, whatever.
I mean, okay, so then that makes sense. You just said it. I feel like it. At a certain age, you really just don't care, because I don't think you wanted to be his. You didn't want to be his girlfriend.
I didn't. I wanted. Actually, no. Yes, I wanted to be his girlfriend, but then again, I didn't care. Because I was still living my life.
Wow.
I was still living my life. Close your legs to marry me, hooker.
I was still living my life. But he was a great time for the time that it was. It was a great time. I mean, I had access to him at all time. Anything that I wanted from him, I could get. And that's how I felt like, okay, well, I mean, that's why I didn't feel bad about it, because it's just like, okay, well, obviously this guy is just...
He's too free.
He's
too free. Like that,
He's too free. That's what it was. He was too free. I mean, trips to here and there...
Close your married men, hooker.
Didn't matter. Okay? Didn't matter. I mean, I was introduced to his best of friends. I was introduced to all his friends, all his cigar.
But they do that, because I'm going to tell you, I had a friend who was messing with a married man, right? And I so they messed around for a minute, and they stopped messing around, and he tried to holler at me. And I remember telling her, like, he tried to holler at me. And she just could not believe it. She was just shell-shocked. Like, you're not even his type. But I felt some type of way about that, because I'm like, bitch, I'm everybody's type. Who the fuck? So, like, a couple of months go by, and she actually notices his interest in me. Mm-hmm. And she's like, you're not even his type. And I'm like, but you don't even look like his wife. So what the fuck is this nigga's type? This nigga's just a hoe. Like, some of these married men just be hoe-ass niggas. And it's not about you or me or Sue.
It's not about anybody.
It's about anybody who'll get them a time of day or they think they have a chance with.
You know, the singlest people are the marriedest men.
Close your legs and married men, hooker.
No, but married men do be like, okay, because
married men be the most pressing.
I don't want to say I've dated, like,
but married men be the most pressing.
They do, because
they are the most pressing and the most like. Why you don't want to date me, nigga, bitch?
When I was in peak bird bitchness,
you're married.
No, I was in
Get off me.
I was in peak bird bitchness when I was before I moved to Houston. So I had met this guy, super attractive. Not even my type though, because he kind of reminded me of like Al B. Shore or Christopher Williams in the 80s. Like very pretty, very like nice hair, very that whole bright skin, the whole Samar Moore thing, which is not necessarily like the type I go for anyway. But he was like in his like 40s. I had just turned like 23 or 24, and like I was shell shocked because he had a house in the same house, the same subdivision as the White Howard, because I knew the subdivision when the guy was like, "Oh, I live over here." I'm like, "Oh, bird bitchness." So I of course hollered at him and we were talking, and then I realized that like married people, like married niggas who be like real trash, be like scum bucket trash. So I'm here for things. I'm here to fly. I'm here to eat. I'm here for clothes. I'm here for coins. I'm here for everything that is just bullshit. Like I'm here for everything that glitters in gold. Like guys, silver and gold. I was about to sing the song, but it don't apply.
Does not apply.
Don't apply to this one. Silver and gold. So I went to his house or whatever, bomb ass house, like laid, and I remember like sitting in the living room, with my pinky up, drinking a martini, and his kids come through the front door with the nanny. And they came from like baseball practice, and little baseball gear, and they're not even like babies. They're like 10 and like 7. They're like an age where you fucking know
remember.
Yeah, they know what's going on. I'm like, oh, what is this? He's like, oh, say hello to Miss Ebony. And I remember like I was hella ashamed because my thing was like
you introduced me to
your kids in your house. Like you and your wife are together. She like on some girls trip shit. She get a massage somewhere in Boca Raton. She down south somewhere. She down South Florida somewhere, like living her best life. And you do that to the kids? Like what type of bastard are you?
My dad did that.
What type of fuck nigga are you?
My dad did that.
Wow, was he married to your mama still?
Yes.
Wow, tell that bitch.
That's how.
Close your legs and married men, hooker.
So listen.
They married now?
My parents? Absolutely.
No, I know your parents are married. Is he still with her? Oh, well, then again.
Close your legs and married men, hooker.
Listen, so my dad, I remember vividly. We went to this restaurant. I feel like it was a Sizzler.
Bitch, Sizzler used to pop.
It used to pop. Low-key, high-key.
But
the Sizzler used to pop.
Sizzler go to Corral.
I feel like it was a Sizzler, but I cannot remember. But we went to some restaurant, and I remember it was me and my older brother, and my dad sat next to my brother, and this woman, and she sat next to me, and I didn't know who the fuck she was.
You say hey? Like, hey, madam.
So I looked at her, and I'm just like...
How old are you?
I was at least 5 or 6, because my parents got divorced when I was in kindergarten, so I was 6. So I was 5. But I remember, I looked at her, and I remember she had these fucking... This is when Fashion Fair was popping. Fashion Fair. Do you remember Fashion Fair?
I remember Fashion Fair.
So Fashion Fair makeup line?
Yes.
So she had this like hot pink, and she used to work at the Fashion Fair counter at Dillard's in Corpus Christi.
Wow. Call her out.
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
And she had this hot pink lipstick on, and I just remember looking at her, and I'm just like, you ain't my mama. So, you know, like my dad, like, you know, my dad set up this date with this woman, with us. So the next day, my mom, my hair was like really long. My hair was about down here. And
Come on, Pocahontas!
She used to wash my hair in the sink. And so she was washing my hair. So I was laying on the counter, and she was washing my hair in the sink. And my older brother runs up to her, and he goes, Mom, we went out to eat with another lady.
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
And so my mom, and I remember this. So I looked at him, and I was like,
your older brother did this?
My older brother.
Wow,
my older brother was the one that literally catapulted this whole thing. So I remember him in his pajamas, and I was sitting on the counter. I was laying on the counter actually, and my head was in the sink, and I just remember looking at him like, nigga. And he was spilling the beans. Oh, he was spilling the beans. So then, the next thing I know, my parents are getting a divorce, but I didn't understand it.
Whoa, you should have known.
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
I didn't know. So then every time,
your daddy did that
every time we
the kids, he brought the kids to the sister with the hoe. Wow.
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
Every time we went to the Dillard's Fashion Fair counter, it was because my mother wore Fashion Fair. Like she
had to see the lady.
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
No, like imagine going to get your Sephora and the bitch is there.
Close your legs and marry me and
Imagine
hooker.
you have to go to the MAC counter.
I go to
Imagine you have to go to the MAC counter and get your N47, your N46.
Hey, can I get a?
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
And you have to see the one.
Can you bag my shit?
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
Do y'all have lip gloss?
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
Do you guys have eyeshadow?
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
Can I get my NC47?
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
Wow, y'all got that eyebrow pencil?
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
Oh, Rihanna got a new line.
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
Y'all carry Kylie Jenner?
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
Wow, that's stressful.
So
wow, I used to get Bobby Brown in high school.
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
So yes, I do remember that. But then again, my dad didn't make it any better because
he didn't.
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
Okay, why did he make it better?
He didn't make it better.
Oh, he did. Okay,
he didn't make it any better. He didn't. But I don't know what.
Wow, do your mama still wear Fashion Fair?
No, we don't wear Fashion Fair anymore. She's a MAC girl now.
Did she stop then?
She is happily married with her husband, her new husband.
Does he?
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
He's obsessed with her. He loves her. Like my.
Tell him I don't mind a ride because I
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
My stepdad is so obsessed with my mother. I love it. He bought her. Even because she was scared to tell us that she was getting married to him. She said that the ring that he bought her was a friendship ring. And I'm like, Mom, that don't look like no friendship ring. That looks like a serious ring. Because a friendship ring to me is like, some bullshit. That's a rock. Along with some other shit. Like, the nigga bought you a ring. And then you telling me the nigga told you to pick out any ring you want. Like, nigga. No,
but I'm sorry. Back to, we gotta reverse really quick. So, after Fashion Fair chick, did they get married? Did your dad get married to her? Did they stay together long? Was she young? How old was Fashion Fair?
She was an old hoe.
Okay. Because people always ask me that.
What? She was an older hoe,
What's older? Like in her 40s? What was your parents around the time?
My parents were in their 20s. In their
oh, okay.
30s.
She was in her 20s.
I don't know.
Everybody seemed old as shit when you 12 or 5.
5. Everybody's old.
I thought Halle Berry, Eddie Murphy, and Boomerang were 18. I was like, wow, these old ass actors.
But even my dad cheated on my stepmom.
Wow.
My dad is a cheater.
Your dad really?
Close your legs and married men, hooker.
No, but real question. So, because people ask me that all the time. They be like, will you stay with your husband if he cheats on you? But this was my thing. I was like, I hate questions like that because y'all say it so it's like a general question. Like, in my 2 days of my marriage, in my 20 years of my marriage, how many kids I got, how we living, what we doing. So I think it's a lot. I
asked that same question to my good friend Dominique, who was on our trip with us. Mm-hmm. She was the only person that has been married. She's been married to her husband for a while, and I asked her that, and she said that yes, that she would stay with her husband. And she gave me her reasoning and her logic.
I don't want to say that all the time, but I think I would stay with my husband.
And I agree with her. What she said was basically yes, that she would stay with her husband. She chose the vows. She said what she said, and I asked her, because everybody says, okay, well, fuck, like you gotta be treated a certain way and blah blah blah, and you gotta be treated this way to get this. And she said, well, I took vows for better or for worse. And,
but how long does for better or for worse
and that's
last?
what I asked her. And I asked her that. I said, so how long does that last? How long does a person take all that shit? How long does a person take eating shit?
I guess it's different for people. It's different for everybody.
And that's exactly what she said. She said it's different for everybody.
What's your limit?
It's not going to be cheating.
Is it? Excuse me. Okay, so because mine is actually not cheating either. Is it the circumstances of the cheat? Mine is not the actual I don't want to say it because it sounds stupid. It sounds stupid when I say it. It's not our first situation with cheating. If this is like some blue moon shit, we can have a discussion. And then it becomes levels to the cheating and levels to the life. You know what I mean? And levels to our life and levels, then factors. But I don't think, I know for a fact.
Well, I mean,
the first original bullshit, you crazy if you think I'm about to leave my husband. I'm not going to tell no lie like that.
I mean, honestly, I think that for me, in what I feel that I would take and accept, cheating one time. I can take cheating one time. I can taste
because you'll be like Beyonce.
I think I can be like Beyonce.
It's all over your breath.
I can be like Beyonce in resentment.
But that was early. That wasn't my phone, friends. But resentment's early. Resentment isn't.
But it's been there.
Oh, that's like, ain't that B-Day?
But yes, it is B-Day. But
B-Day is one of my favorite Beyonce albums.
Honestly, I feel like. See, it has to be some form of communication. Because if you're unhappy with the situation, but you still want to continue to be married to me, but you still yet want to step out on me, there has to be some type of communication.
I know
because you're not going to cheat. See, this is what you're not going to do. You're not
Close
going
your
to
legs and married men, hooker.
You're not going to cheat on me and then continue to cheat on me and then not have some type of honest conversation. Like, if you're unhappy, if there's some things that are just like, if I'm not doing or whatever,
like, man, you ain't
I'm not sucking your dick enough, or I'm not grabbing your balls enough.
That's what they said.
I'm not licking your gooch enough. Whatever the fuck it is, I feel like the person should be able to come to me and talk to me about it, right?
But what if they just want? Okay, what if somebody came to you and be like,
"Bro, we're married,
no,
nigga."
They can't be like, I just want random pussy every blue moon, but that's not gonna affect our house.
You got me fucked up. I could be random pussy, bitch. Okay? Guess what?
I could be. You can't be random pussy.
I can't be random pussy. You know why? Because I can change my wig.
That nigga said I could be random pussy.
What the fuck?
Wow. Can you put your phone on silent?
I didn't know.
Wow.
I didn't know.
Put your phone on silent, sis.
But I can be random. I can role play. I can be Shaquana. I could be Lakeisha.
Wow.
I could be this person.
That to marry me.
No, I don't, because people say that all the time, because I think I give off like, oh, you don't accept anything if the coin's right. And that's definitely not true. But I'm just not, I'm very realistic with myself. I have a lot of deal breakers.
Cheating?
You can't beat me. No, cheating's not my deal breaker though.
What's your deal breaker?
Bitch, you can't whoop my ass. Like, don't put your hands on me, period. That's a deal breaker. You can't be like, if something happens in life where, I understand life happens. Mm-hmm. Life has happened in my life and in my mom's life and life. Mm-hmm. If you fuck off money off some bullshit that has nothing to do with just like life coming in and happening, that's a problem for me. Like, meaning you gamble. You do. You're alcoholic to a point where you fucking up the funds.
Yeah.
That type of money issue is a money problem for me. You know what I mean? If you lose your job, we can figure something out. But if your ass just fucked off the money, we need to talk.
Yeah.
In a way that's closer to divorce court than you cheating on me. And just nonverbal skills. Because based on like, and I know it probably sounds very unhealthy, but my upbringing, my love for half Disney movies, half 90s movies, and my relationship with a lot of homeboys, I know a lot of cheating has nothing to do with the person that's in your house. So for me, I don't want to say it's a blind eye to it, because it's not a blind eye to it, but I better not ever find out about your shit. And then also, when I say that, I've also been the girl who just wanted some Chuck Taylors and $100 for the weekend. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When I'm like 21, 22, 23, I had like, now I need more. I pay bills. But like, if I find out my husband cheating with some girl that's in college, I'm not gonna blow up my whole family when I know that girl's not gonna be with my husband. You know what I mean? She don't want shit. I don't want shit. I wish somebody would have called me about their husband when I was 22,
what if
23.
Your husband has an emotional connection to somebody?
That's different. I'm saying if it's a girl like me at 22, 23, hell, up until like yesterday, basically. It's a lot of times that I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted whatever I thought I can get out of a situation, not emotional. Right. Even if I fed it to him, that it sounded emotional, but it was more of a money grab, if we want to say. Because I've had older people call me about their husbands since I've been in damn near college. I've talked to more women over 40 who were going through things with their husband. And the girls that they were going through it with their husband were girls my age. Mm-hmm. And I always was saying, like, that girl don't want him. That girl just, want some Chuck Taylors or whatever. That girl just want to go to Barbados or spring break or whatever bullshit some girl would want. And I think that's true on a lot of situations. So a lot of me in the factor of to leave my husband. Not saying I would never leave my husband. Not saying he can run a buck on me and I'd be like, oh no, we're gonna be together forever because we married. Bitch, I don't give a fuck that we married. Fuck that shit. Don't fucking play with me too many goddamn times, because for my sanity and for your life, we can't do too much. But I will look at a situation like, all right, that girl, 21, she's trying to go to Miami for spring break. This ain't enough for me to blow up my marriage. That's me though. And that happens a lot where people really just be fucking off just the fuck off. And it has nothing to do with you per se. You're a great wife. You're a great mother. You're a great person. Now, on the flip side of that, if,
there has to be a level of respect.
Yeah. On the flip side of that, if Everybody knows what's going on. I don't like public displays of embarrassment. Hence why I say I better not know and nobody around me better not know. Because anybody who genuinely knows me knows my ass is crazy as hell. So I'm very calm in a lot of situations. But the flip side to my calm, I'm never in the middle. I'm either 0 or 10. It's never no 5. So you better make sure I don't know, so I stay at 0. Because the second I know something, I go to 10. Yeah. And now the party's fucking done.
Yeah.
And everybody's dead. And now I'm going to jail. But even on the flip side of that, I just think that you really have to kind of look at every situation as a situation. Some 20-year-old that I know he getting her nails done is enough for me to, it's enough for me to say something and be crazy about it. But some woman that's my age that I feel that he's more invested in will really be like, all right, we need to have a conversation. What the fuck is going on? And do I need to leave? Like, I need to leave because don't embarrass me. Because that happens a lot too, where people get these emotional connections and it's not just about some pussy that you got on Saturday and now you buying her some Chuck Taylors. Some people be like, you're the work husband and the work wife. Those are situations for real that will actually like sit me up. Marriage. Yeah, and it will sit me up and destroy a marriage. Mm-hmm. That will be something that I'll be like, wait, who? What? Where? That will sit me up more than Tina, the freshman in college. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think, and like I said, I just think every situation when you go to cheating in your man, because that's why I hate when people be like, would you leave your husband if he cheat on you? Nigga, I got 3 kids right now. What are we doing? I'm in love and I have 3 kids and I didn't know I had a problem in my marriage. So I can't leave. I'm not gonna leave my husband. I need to know what the fuck is going on. And that's why I hate when people ask those type of questions, even though I do think people need to keep their legs closed to married men hookers. But in reality, I had been a person who slept with married men and didn't want nothing from those married people either. So, and I understand there are people who sleep with married men and want to get married to the nigga they messing with. And it happens. People mess with the married man and get married to the married man. Not often, but it does. So, I just think every relationship, every married man, every how you deal with it is based on you. I know my breaking point. I know what will make me insane. And I'm not going to push it to the limit because I don't want to be on y'all snapped. And I don't want to be on y'all for my man. Because I'm there for my man. It's on TV1. No, it's called For My Man on TV1.
Bitch, I know what For My Man is. Yeah.
But because I'm like a prime candidate for shows like that. Like I know
For My Man.
Yeah, I'm a prime candidate. Like I know I'm a Fatal Attraction type of person. I know I'm Brandy Webb. So
Ebony.
I know that it's like a certain level.
God.
I would have to back out of like certain stuff that's not for me.
I'm for my man.
Yeah, I don't want to. So, but I know for me, what will be more triggering than some college girl will be some woman my age.
Yeah. That's facts.
That's more triggering facts to me. Yes. Some little I'll be like, oh, let me get my daughter to beat your ass.
That's cute.
Yeah, my daughter will beat your ass. But like some girl, if some woman came in and she my age and she bomb, and me and her both in the same Ann Taylor dress and shit, I'm gonna have to kill her. Like I wouldn't know how to like
from
receive.
New York and Co.
Yeah, I would not. New York and Co still exists.
Yes.
Yeah, I would not know how to receive a bitch in the same rap dress as me. But the girl in the Chuck Taylors, a little bit of me would be like, listen, you got one more time to fuck with this little girl, bitch. Mm-hmm. Fucking R. Kelly. Like, I would talk all the dog shit, but not leave my nigga. But the bottom line is,
close your legs and marry me and hooker.
So, I don't know if this was helpful or not. If you didn't learn anything from this, just learn.
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
It solves everything. And if you're my age and you mess with my husband,
close your legs and marry me and hooker.
And if you're my daughter's age and you mess with my husband,
close your legs and marry me and hooker.
And if you're my age
and you mess with my husband,
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
If you see my husband at the grocery store,
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
when you see my nigga in my office,
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
when you see my nigga riding dirty,
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
when you see us out at the good old Papa Do's,
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
when we're vacating down in Barbados,
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
if you see us on Instagram,
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
if you see us on, because the families ought to be on Facebook. If you see us on Facebook,
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
I will beat your ass. And that's the bottom line of all this. This was all cute. But if you don't,
Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
this wife's gonna whoop your ass.
Ay.
Anyways, I got a letter. This letter's a lot. It was a lot. Wait for it.
Y'all not done? Stop sending us letters. Y'all don't want our opinion. Y'all don't want shit from us.
She do. She said, "Hey, good sisses." And this. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Because
She got another one. She's got another one.
I got a fact.
Hold on.
Wait, I got. Wait, hold on. I do have another one.
Close your legs and marry me and hooker. Close your legs and marry me and hooker.
Okay, so this Moesha's diary goes to Mary Ellen Pleasant. Mary Ellen Pleasant is basically like Halle Berry, Jasmine Guy. Who else is biracial in these streets? Zoe Kravitz. That's all the biracial people I can think about right now. So
Tracy Ellis Ross.
Tracy Ellis Ross. She is biracial too. Yes. Mary Ellen Pleasant was originally a slave, but she was like biracial clearly because y'all know slave owners love to sleep with the slaves. She ended up getting her freedom. I can't remember the name of the guy who bought her freedom, but they bought her freedom. She was originally, I believe, in Virginia, so she took her ass all the way to California. She went to California. She was a really good cook because, black people can cook, but she looked like a white woman. So she was cooking and everybody was like, "Oh, we about to hire you because your food's so good. We love it. Boom, boom, boom. What is this? Oh my God. Chitlins, chicken, greens. This is amazing." So she cooks all this food. And when the white people try to hire her, she's like, "Oh, I'll start my own restaurant." So Mary starts her own restaurant, but because she passes as white, everybody thinks she's a white woman doing all these things. So she starts her restaurant. She hires black people and black slaves, and she's sending her money back and like buying slaves off. Not buying slaves off. She's not buying slaves off. She's paying for slaves to get off slavery. Yeah. What's that called?
Emancipation.
She's paying for people's emancipation, basically.
The Proclamation of I don't know.
No, I think she paying for
emancipation.
She just paying for slaves not to be slaves no more, basically. So Mary, at the entire time, she looks like a white woman. So she's building her empire. So she has all these restaurants. She's investing her money. She's still basically sending money out. Like, oh my God, let me help these slaves. So basically, she's like doing work as a white woman, but she's really black, but she looks like Jasmine Guy and like Lisa Bonet. So then finally one day she marries this white man. They're living a good life. She has like $30 million. Like $30 million our money, but back in the day it was like 3 or 4 million. She has all this money. She hired all these black people. She did all these great things. She sent money back. She had slaves freed and shit. And then the census come around. Her husband died. She was going through a lot. She fills out her census and she just basically says, "I'm a black woman." White people are fucking pissed. They let Mary Ellen Pleasant have all these businesses, make all this money as a white woman, hire all these Negroes, free all these Negroes, and she's a Negro. So that is why Mary Ellen Pleasant, whoever wrote this letter, that's why this is your name. So Mary says, "Hey, good sisses." And she said SISSES. That's how you say, wow, I never seen sisses as a plural. Yeah, it's a plural. Look at that. That's amazing. Okay. Mary's going through a lot. So I love you guys and your podcast, but I'm going to get straight to the point. In true listener fashion, I'm going to brag about my man and follow up with why he got me fucked up. I've been dating this dude for over a year. And I'm in my late 20s. He's in his late 30s. He has 2 kids turning 12 and 8 this year. Gives off Zeddy vibes and BDE. What's BDE?
Girl, I don't know.
Okay, gives off Zeddy vibes and BDE from his salt and pepper facial hair and the way he carries himself.
Big Daddy.
Big dick energy. He gives off Zaddy vibes and big dick energy from his salt and pepper facial hair.
Okay.
And the way he carries himself. Okay. Wow. I really struggle with BDE for like...
I was going to say Big Daddy. Big Daddy.
It's big dick energy.
Big dick energy.
So I'm here with you, sis. I love an older man. He's attractive. We have great sex. And he loves to cuddle. Now back to these kids. This August will be 1 year since we've been acquainted, and initially I took the stepmommy role very serious, but I still was cognizant of that we just met. I'm not their mom. I'm not trying to take their father away from them. I watch the kids often on the weekends while their dad works a part-time job. I take them to the pool, playgrounds, arcades, putt-putt golf, and other places to bond. The little girl, 11 years old, has 4C type hair.
You don't have to say that. That wasn't necessary.
I feel like that wasn't necessary.
That wasn't necessary.
I feel like that wasn't necessary. But I'm reading it.
Okay, keep reading.
She has 4C type hair, and it's not proper.
Very unfucking necessary.
No, because she's about to tell us why. She has 4C type hair, and it is not properly maintained. So every time I get my hair done, I take her and pay, and can just see her confidence boost. After getting out the salon chair. I am big on Christmas, so I celebrate from Thanksgiving evening up until the actual day. I stood in line during Black Friday and spent hundreds of dollars on gifts for them. I bought supplies for us to decorate ornaments and planned a very festive things. Everything I do for them is out of the kindness of my heart. I rarely do ask to be reimbursed because these kids will eventually become my bonus children, and I enjoy these activities. During all of this, I've been dealing with this daughter's funky ass back talk whenever I ask her to do something attitude. Her dad is very much aware of his daughter's attitude. He frequently checks her for it whenever she comes for me. I don't say much whenever she gets snappy with me or when she has disrespectful things to say. I have to tell her and her brother all the time to stop jumping on my couch, throwing my couch pillows, cleaning up after they eat or clean their room. A month ago, I walked in on them jumping on my new sofa again, and the room was a mess. So I calmly told them to clean up the room, and she told me in a snappy attitude, why we just gonna mess it up again? I replied, no, you're going to clean it up and it's going to stay clean. This is like compared to other incidents, but it was my last straw. I told her dad, and he basically told me that I need to earn their respect. Excuse me? First of all, I don't have to earn the respect of anybody that's in my home. Secondly, after all I do for him and those kids, he had the nerve to say I need to accept their behavior as if I'm supposed to be a child's doormat. This argument got so heated, I've never been so irate and hurt in my life. It was so intense, I felt dizzy. I thought I would pass out after all the screaming and crying. Fast forward to the present day. I'm 3 months pregnant. After suffering 2 miscarriages from past relationships, I'm avoiding anything that could stress me out. The kids and I barely interact. They are in one room, I'm in another. I'm allowing them to make a mess and be rambunctious, but in return, I'm not spending a dime on them or taking them to any fun places anymore. I don't cook or buy food for them. Their dad sends Uber Eats for them while he's at work. I did not tell him I intentionally am being distant, but even though it's obvious, he treats our relationship like the argument never happened and we haven't missed a beat. My biggest fear is that I continue to do what I was doing and reach my boiling point from enduring the constant disrespect, and I get into another heated argument with their father and lose my baby. I'm not... Hold on. Well, I lost it. I'm not trying to punish these kids. I just want their father to notice my absence, assist in blooming this family, and set ground rules with the kids. Am I wrong for being distant with the kids? And give advice on how I would tackle this situation. Disclaimer, bitch. Disclaimer. My man is very sensitive when it comes to his kids, and whenever I bring up a concern, he thinks I'm overreacting. Disclaimer number 2.
Disclaimer number 2, what?
Disclaimer number 2. Please don't think I'm a pushover, because I don't play with children when it comes to disrespect and will curse them the fuck out in a minute. However, I understand people parent different. I respect parenting styles. Thanks in advance, Mary Ellen Pleasant.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in. Honestly, as a person that came from a father that did not set boundaries between my stepmother and me and my brothers, I kind of felt like he should have. I felt like he should have said something. I felt like he should have been more, proactive, right? In this situation, honestly, girl, I feel like first of all, you have to take care of yourself first. You have to take care of your baby. You have to make sure yourself is okay. And secondly, you have to have a conversation with your guy, and you have to say what you feel. Because at the end of the day, like, you're holding all this stuff in, and you're like, it's going to come out in a way that's negative, right? The children are acting out. Now, I don't understand, like, because we have to think about children, right? Children act out because of a certain thing. I acted out when I didn't have what I needed from my father or my mother, and with my step parents, I acted out. So I can honestly say that you have to put yourself in the mindset of a child. Like, these are children, and they are acting out because of a certain reason. They're not getting attention. They're not getting something, and they're not getting what they need. So they're acting out. And if they are disrespecting you and they are doing things that you don't want them to do, then that is a situation that you have to have with their father. So where both of y'all can be on the same team, if this is supposed to be a team. See, it's not going to happen if you guys are not going to work together. So that kind of clearly shows you that this is not the person that you want to be a family with, because if he's not going to listen to what your concerns are about these children, and it's not talking bad about them, it's just setting boundaries. It's setting boundaries. And I think that that's important. And because I am a product of an environment where I am a stepchild, I get it. So you have to have boundaries. Children have to have structure. Children have to have boundaries. And if they don't, they're going to be doing exactly what they're doing. Jumping on the fucking couch, misbehaving, doing shit that you don't want them to fucking do in your fucking house. Like, they should fucking know the rules. And at the end of the day, like, you have to step up and say what needs to be said, and fuck that shit. If he cannot take that heat, then that is not the person for you. If he cannot take that type of criticism in parenting, then he is not the person for you. Because at the end of the day, again, children need structure. children need boundaries. And if children don't have that, they're going to run amok. And they're going to do exactly what the fuck that they're doing. Because I did it. Until I got checked. And then until it was it's because sometimes it could be a behavioral thing. It could be sometimes the kids feel like they're neglected, or we don't know. Like, I don't know the ins and outs of this story for the children, but at the end of the day, the kids, because they are kids and you're an adult, it's so important to see where their rationale is, because at the end of the day, like, we don't. All I can say is that they're kids, and kids are going to do what kids do, and we cannot be mad at the kids. We can't fault the kids, but we have to keep them accountable, of course, and we have to set boundaries. And if that dad is not willing to set boundaries with those children, then that is something that you as a woman have to look at and say, okay, is this something that I can deal with? Is this something that I want to deal with for the rest of my life? Yes or no, whatever. You're having a baby by him, obviously. Is this something that you can deal with? Because obviously it's an issue. If this person cannot control or harness his children, then, I mean, I would be irritated if the kids are fucking jumping on the couch when I don't fucking want them to jump on the couch. Like, what are y'all doing? Sit y'all monkey asses down. Like, don't do that shit. I would never. I would never. But again, you know, I grew up in a different era. These children, they grow up in a different whatever.
Myself, we gotta.
I got whooped. I got whooped the fuck up.
Tell them kids to
Close your legs and marry me.
That's not.
No, that's not the same thing. Okay, sorry. No, honestly, as a person, my mom wasn't married to my dad either. So I ended up having a stepdad. I had a stepdad from when I was like in 6th grade to probably like my sophomore. Actually, I had graduated college by the time they got a divorce. My mom was married for like 12, 13 years. So I had a problem with my stepdad, but I wasn't in my stepdad's space. My stepdad came into my space, so I couldn't jump on sofas and be ridiculous because I was in my own home. But I did have like a ultra attitude, and I'm very reminded about the day my mom told me she got married. My mom ended up getting married at the courthouse with my stepdad, and they came home and they're like, I'm married. And I remember just looking and turning my head and watching TV. I was in 6th grade. My attitude was full. I've been the same person for a very long time. I looked over, I turned my head, and that was that. And then my little brother was being a little bitch about it and was like, I have 3 families. I have my dad's family, my mom's family, and now you're my family. And being like, you know, cute and cuddly. And I was just like, fuck this bitch. I'm going to beat him up later. But my mom checked me. So this isn't a job for you. This is a job for your baby daddy. Where the fuck is the kid's mama at?
Yeah,
honestly, where's the mom?
It's the parents.
You didn't mention the mom here. Where the hell is the mama? But besides the mama, this is a job for the parents, aka the dad. Because if you didn't mention the mom, so I'm assuming you don't have a relationship with the mom. That is a conversation for sure for the dad, because even my stepdad was in the military, so he wasn't even home at first a lot, and every time he came back I had like a full-fledged attitude. My mama checked me on spot every time she got a chance, literally every time she got a chance. So this is something that he needs to handle, because this is the reality of it. You're pregnant with your own child, which I'm still confused on why y'all write fucking letters after y'all pregnant, but neither here nor there. You're pregnant with your own child. Those kids, whatever's going on with them, they're going to feel more alienated because that's your child. Yeah. And you're going to feel more connected to your child because it's your child. And that's not a bad thing. I don't care how many times Jada Pinkett Smith or Kamora Lee Simmons and everybody try to give you all these blended family stories. Yeah, you're close to your bonus baby, but the reality is it's something about a person that grew inside of you. It's just something different. So now you're about to deal with that. So you need to get this situation rectified before you have your new baby, because it's going to be all hell when you have your new baby, because you get to raise that baby the way you feel like it. You're going to love that baby differently because that baby just grew inside of you.
And then on top of that, you're going to look at them other kids like, you motherfucking devils.
Like, you're going to look at them probably like, I don't have to deal with this shit. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, you do, but you don't. So you need to really, instead of disassociating yourself from the situation, you need to be proactive, but make your spouse proactive as well, so you guys can figure it out. Because kids just go through stuff. Like, I don't know why I didn't like my stepdad originally. I just didn't. Shit. It was me, my mama, my brother at the house.
But who likes their step-parents? Nobody likes their step-parents.
I mean, I know people I do know people who have, but
I don't.
I didn't. I was a temperamental. I'm still the same person. Temperamental. I was needy then. My emotions went like the waves. I'm essentially the same person now that I was as a kid, but worse as a kid, because I couldn't even like identify my problem and verbalize my problems. If I can't identify them, I can't verbalize them. I'm a fucking hot mess. So, and they're going through that phase, and puberty sucks, and growing up sucks, and your parents not being together sucks. You never said nothing about their relationship. Are these two kids from the same mom and dad? They have the same mama? Was that mama married? Was this a divorce? Was a divorce ugly? Are they fighting for custody? It's a lot of things that go through kids' minds that you really have to be cautious of. I have a niece now. My niece is like, I can't even grasp how much she realizes about emotions, and she knows what to say, when to say it, and who to talk about who in front of who. You know what I mean? So this isn't your necessary, this is your problem, but this is a conversation that needs to be had with your spouse. He needs to get it together. Y'all need to, after he gets it together, and talk to the kids, and not in like a, y'all better, but in a what's wrong way. And then you need to come in and facilitate that. And then y'all need to grow as a family, because it's going to be a whole lot when you have your baby anyway. And those kids can feel more alienated. And if they being bitches like that, it got to be a reason. In case they terrible tyrants. Some kids are just terrible as shit, and fuck them. But no, some kids really are terrible as shit. But it just sounds like to me they might be going through something.
True.
And I don't think you should reward bad behavior. If they're kicking your shit over and disrespecting you, tell them, I was going to take you to the movies this weekend, but y'all knocked my shit over, so I'm not going to take you to the movies this weekend. I was going to take you putt golfing this weekend, but y'all asses knocked my shit over again this week, so I'm not going to take you putt golfing. I do think there needs to be consequences, but I think it all needs to be verbalized. The reason I'm not doing this for you guys is because you guys aren't respecting me. I was going to do this. I was going to let y'all, eat popcorn and, eat some Twizzlers, but, y'all broke my china cabinet, so everybody got to sit down. I do think everything needs to be verbalized. Communication is very much so key. So verbalize to your nigga that he needs to talk to them kids. You also need to verbalize why you're not doing things for them, to them. So they just won't be like, oh, she ain't doing shit, let me kick her shit over. No, the reason I'm not doing shit is because you're kicking my shit over. You know what I mean? So I hope that helps. And if all fails,
close your legs and marry me and hooker.
Pray about it.
So you can find me, Natoya Abney, on all social media. You can find Recovering Party Girls on Instagram, Twitter. Twitter is Party Girls Pod. Get your life. You can find Adriana and Miss Cool _
in the city.
Get your life. And we shall see you guys next week. It's been fabulous. Be blessed. Go see Lion King. Support Black people. Get your lives.
I am